full disclosure, I am pissed. I am absolutely frustrated. You shouldn't have lost that game. Once again, this is just for this game. Just for this game. I don't want my opinion being exploded into thinking this team sucks, blah, 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 blah. This bullpen sucks, Jose Alvarado sucks, all this sucks, Rob Thomson sucks. It's not that. It's not that. It's just this game. It's just this game. It's just this goddamn game that you blew a 3-0 lead. Rob Thomson, I want to know. I want to know the logic. I want to know your logic by, sixth inning. Okay, Taijuan Walker allows a couple of base runners. You take him out of the game. I'm fine with that because when Taijuan Walker eventually, he gets into trouble, sometimes it doesn't, go in your favor. And sometimes he doesn't get out of it. Well, majority of the times he doesn't get out of it. Taijuan Walker was not the issue today. I am perfectly fine with taking Taijuan Walker out. It's who you bring in. It's who you bring in that just you didn't need to bring in. You could have brought someone that was more guaranteed to get out of the jam. Why are you bringing in Gregory Soto? You know how bad it can get when Gregory Soto is not locked in on that mound. You know how many runs he can give up in succession. So why in the hell are you bringing in Gregory Soto in a high leverage spot? 2 runners on, 2 outs. Yes, I understand the fact. You should be able to trust your reliever to get 1 out. You can't trust Gregory Soto because you don't know what you're getting with him every single time he steps on the mound. I would have rather taken my chances with guys that were more, even though Gregory Soto had 7 days of rest, I would have taken my chances with Matt Strahm, Jeff Hoffman to get out of the jam, hell, even Jose Alvarado, and we'll get to Jose Alvarado in a little bit, but why not let Matt Strahm get you out of that jam in the 6th, and then you bring in Gregory Soto to get a clean inning? I can fully understand Gregory Soto coming into a baseball game. That is not my issue. It's the position that you brought him in because you brought him into a position to fail because he was never going to get out of the jam. He was never going to get out of the jam. That's what Gregory Soto is. Why not bring in Matt Strahm? And let's not forget the offense today. Let's not forget the offense in this game. Bottom of the first inning. Bases loaded, no outs. Alec Bohm grounds into a double play. Then you get bases loaded, JT Realmuto. I believe he grounded into a double play. And then after Jose Alvarado blows the game in the top of the 9th inning against the bottom of the Mets order, let me repeat that, against the bottom of the Mets lineup, 6, 7, 8. This Mets team is not that good. This Mets team sucks. And Jose Alvarado couldn't throw a strike for his life. Yes, I get the umpire behind the plate was terrible. He was not giving you the inside part of the plate. That's not the issue. He was terrible the entire time for both teams. I don't want to hear that excuse, and I'm sure they're not going to do that excuse, but Jose Alvarado just didn't have it in the top of the 9th for some reason against the bottom of the Mets order, which should have been fucking easy fucking peasy against that terrible lineup, and no, he allows 3 base runners automatic. He manages, they tie the game up. Then he gets out Francisco Lindor. And then he has Pete Alonso down to the wire with 2 strikes. And then, for some reason, decides to go inside to him. I have no idea why when it hasn't been working the entire inning. You hit it with a pitch. It blings in a run. And then you throw a wild pitch, which gives the Mets a 2-run lead. And then here comes another thing. The Phillies actually get the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bryce Harper loads the bases up. Alec Bohm walks with the bases loaded. And then Nick Castellanos comes up with bases loaded with a chance to walk the game off or just tie it up. What does he do? He swings at every fucking pitch. And then he just bleed it right back to the catcher. And it's a double play. Tags home, throws to first base. That's the way you lose the ball game. Come on, Nick. And then also that inning felt ruined because Pache led off with a single, and then Kyle Schwarber, who went up, I believe, 2-0 in his count. Popped up in the foul territory. That can't happen. Okay, it was a 1-1 count, but still, that can't happen. Work the count, find a way to get on base. Where's the home runs, Kyle? Where's the home runs? It's June 9th. June's supposed to be your month. Where's the home runs? And Alec Boehm's even pissing me off. I know he had 2 RBIs today, but it grounds out into a double play in the bottom of the first inning, which could have basically blown the game open from there. Can't happen, unacceptable. Making bad plays over at third base, the one with Jose Alvarado, which allowed the ball game to be tied, just booted the ground ball. Can't happen. Can't catch a foul ball in territory. Simple fly ball. Can't happen. Can't happen. Can't happen. And especially with Nick Castellanos in that bottom of the ninth inning, when the pitcher for the Mets, obviously in the Alec Boehm at bat, could not locate his fastball, could not locate any of his pitches. Why is the game plan going up there and swinging at everything? Swinging at everything. It doesn't make sense. Bryce Harper has that fortunate to swing at the first pitch because he's fucking Bryce Harper, and he'll find a way to make contact with the ball. Nick Castellanos, it's not guaranteed. The best pitch in that at-bat to hit Nick was the first pitch, and it was a hanger right down the middle of the plate, and you just fouled it off. You weren't getting anything else better to hit in that at-bat, buddy. Sorry. He was not throwing any pitch in the strike zone after that, and you basically costed yourself the ball game. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like I said, this reaction is just for this game. It's not for the entire description of the team. It's just for this game specifically. Because yesterday was fantastic. Yesterday was fun. We saw that in the recap yesterday. It was fun. The game was fun. This game should have been fun, but no, it was agonizing, and it's the most frustrating loss. This team, one of the best teams in baseball. I'm not forgetting that. I'm not forgetting that at all. This team is fantastic. This team is great. Losses like this happen, but it's the way they lose every single time. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. You actually got a good game from Taijuan Walker, and you couldn't capitalize on it. Seriously, Taijuan Walker was excellent today. Like, where did that come from, Taijuan Walker? 5 2/3, I believe he had 7 strikeouts, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he had 6 strikeouts. 5 2/3, 2 hits. The 2 earned runs were because of Gregory Soto. 79 pitches, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. He was great. Taijuan Walker was fantastic. Gregory Soto comes in, can't throw a strike, can't record 1 out. Then Matt Strum has to come in and keep the game tied, and he does that because Matt Strum's a beast. He does allow a couple of base runners in his next appearance in the next inning, but then Jeff Hoffman comes out. He manages to get out of that situation. He gets a full clean inning of relief in the 8th. He does it fine, but then and then Jose Alvarado just couldn't find the strike zone against the bottom of the Mets order. I understand that Taylor, he had a good at-bat in the top of the 9th. He did. He had a good at-bat, drilled it to a full count. Jose made some nasty pitches. Taylor didn't offer it, and when the pitches were in the strike zone, he fouled it off. He did have a good at-bat. But then you can't allow a base hit to Jeff McNeil like that. You can't allow a base hit to Jeff McNeil like that. You just can't. You just can't. You just can't. You just can't. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You should have won this game. And then it all comes back to, if Rob Thomson doesn't bring in Gregory Soto, you're probably still up not 3-0. This probably is a 3-0 game. And granted, yes, it doesn't necessarily mean what Jose Alvarado does in the 9th still happens or doesn't happen. I understand that. But you're still in a 3-0 game. I don't expect Jose Alvarado to blow a 3-0 lead, let alone a 1-run lead. And hell, you even got David Dahl pinch hitting. He gives you a freaking go-ahead home run, and you can't win after that. And you can't win after that. Come on, guys. Come on. It sours the entire mood of the London series for me. It does. It does. I'm sorry, it does. Because now you have a day off tomorrow, which is understandable because of the travel. It sours it because now you got to sit on it. It sours it. Regardless of how great yesterday was, how great it all was yesterday, it sours it. It sours it. You can't lose to this Mets team. This Mets team fucking sucks. They're terrible. They're bad. Quintana barely lasted 4 innings. And you let him off the hook with all those bases loaded opportunities. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. And I'm looking at 2 guys in particular in this lineup. Kyle Schwarber, Alec Boehm. Alec Boehm has not, as much as Alec Boehm has been fantastic driving in guys this year, he has 50 RBIs, it's tops in the league, blah, 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 blah. Alec Boehm was terrible in the month of May. His numbers have been steadily declining. He's below 300. He hasn't been hitting with runners on consistently as he once did. You got to get a hit bottom of the first inning with bases loaded. You can't ground into a double play there, man. And then Kyle Schwarber, where are the home runs, man? Where are the home runs? I don't see you lacking power because you're constantly getting exit velocities on your singles over 100 miles an hour. On your singles over 100 miles an hour consistently. So the exit velo is not gone. The power is not gone. You're not getting the ball in the air. I don't know why. It can't be that you lost weight because your power's still there. I don't think his power is declining. He's just for some reason not getting the ball in the fucking air. It doesn't matter. My God. And yes, this team is most likely going to fully bounce back in Boston. I fully expect that. If I look at this entire sample of them coming back from that West Coast stint in Colorado, in San Francisco, looking at the 3 series in a row after that, they won the series against St. Louis. They swept Milwaukee, and they won. They split here in London against the New York Mets. And an entire sample size of 8 games, they went 6-2. Very good stretch. You bounced back from that series on the West Coast trip. You definitely did. It could have been 7-1. It could have been 7-1. I expect great things from my baseball team. Now, I'm not knocking 6-2. 6-2 is a really good stretch, but it could have been even greater at 7-1. Could have been even greater coming back from that road trip. Go 7-1. It's just this fucking game in particular pisses me off. It just does. It just does. It just does. It's ridiculous, man. And I'm not trying to make it seem like this is what the entire team's going to be the entire season. I don't think that's going to be the case. The offense, I expect to be more consistent as the season goes along because they've proven that to us. The pitching, the bullpen, I don't expect the bullpen to be they're going to have their bad. The bullpen has been so amazing for basically a month and a half at this point. This is probably the first bad game from the bullpen in a very long time. And it was from 2 people. It was from Gregory Soto and Jose Alvarado. I don't expect Jose Alvarado, his next appearance, to be that bad. Gregory Soto, like I said, it doesn't, you can't predict what he's going to be every time he comes out there on the mound. He's got to pitch. You just cannot pitch Gregory Soto. That's the bottom line. It was a very dumb decision to bring him out in that specific situation. 2 runners on 2 outs. Why not bring out Matt Strahm? Because if Matt Strahm gives up the run, I'm fully 100% riding and dying with Matt Strahm. I'm not fully 100% riding and dying with Gregory Soto. I'm sorry. If that's unfair, I don't care. I don't care. I rather survive with the guys that have been shut down in the bullpen. Gregory Soto has not been shut down consistently, basically his entire Phillies career. I'd rather go down with Matt Strahm. And if Matt Strahm gives up the run, okay, it happens. He was bound to give up a run. It just is what it is. And then Matt Strahm gets out of that jam, you can bring in Gregory Soto for a clean 7th inning. You can bring him in for a clean inning. Okay? If you wanted to bring in Gregory Soto that badly, wait till a clean inning. Bring in Matt Strahm, bring in Jeff Hoffman, someone that's going to get out of the inning unscathed and keep it at a 3-0 lead. It just can't happen. That can't happen. In my opinion, it just can't happen. But yes, the offense was the goddamn issue. The offense was the goddamn issue. As well. Offense was the goddamn issue. How many chances? They went 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They left 9 runners on base. The only guys that got hits with runners in scoring position was Whit Merrifield, who got an RBI, and Bryce Harper in the 9th inning. Unacceptable. Let's look at all these chances the offense did have. So top of the 1st inning, Taijuan Walker looks really good. 1, 2, 3, gets out of it really good. Bottom of the 1st inning, Kyle Schwarber reaches in on an infield single. JT walks. Bryce Harper walks. Alec Bohm in his at-bat. It was a very long at-bat. It was a 2-2 count. He fouled off a lot of pitches. Grounds out into a double play. It does become 1-0 Phillies, but could have been way more than Castellanos grounds out. 1-0 lead. Missed opportunity there. Taijuan Walker shut down in the top of the 2nd inning. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Sosa hit by a pitch. Merrifield grounds out into a double play. Basically, the inning ends there. Walker, okay, he allows a single to Beatty in the top of the 3rd. Gets out of it unscathed. Bottom of the 3rd inning for the Phillies. After a Schwarber 1-out single. Nothing happens there. Taijuan Walker, 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th inning. Quintana's still out there on the mound. Castellanos, infield single. Edmundo Sosa hits a double, which scores Nick Castellanos. Even though Castellanos was out by a mile and the catcher booted the ball, it became 2-0 Phillies. And then Whit Merrifield, he gets a single, makes it 3-0. Rojas then gets a single with 2 outs, gets 2 runners on there. Quintana comes out of the game, and then Young comes out of the bullpen for the Mets. Schwarber walks, and then JT strikes out. Top of the fifth, 1-2-3 inning for Taijuan Walker. Bottom of the fifth for the Phillies. Alec Bohm with a one-out single. Nothing happens there. Top of the sixth inning for the Mets. Here we go. So Taijuan Walker gets baited to ground out, and then Torrens hits a single, and then Lindor pops out. And then he walks Taijuan, and then he walks Pete Alonso on 4 pitches. Okay. Then Rob Thomson decides to bring in the bullpen, takes out Taijuan Walker. Okay, I understand taking out Taijuan Walker there. I don't have an issue with taking out Taijuan Walker because, like I said, when he gets into jams, it doesn't turn out good. So I don't mind that. But then you bring in Gregory Soto. Why is it Soto? Nimmo, double. This makes it 3-1. Then Martinez, single on the first pitch, ties the ball game up. Then he walks Bader, and then he brings in Matt Strahm, which strikes out Taylor. Easy peasy. Gets out of it. Bottom of the sixth inning for the Phillies. 1-2-3. Top of the seventh for the Mets. Matt Strahm. McNeil with a leadoff single. Then he walks Vientos. Then he gets the next 2 guys out with Torrens and Lindor. And then Hoffman comes in to pace Pete Alonso. Then he gets Pete Alonso to strike out. Good sit there by Hoffman. David Dahl comes out here. Bottom of the seventh inning. Pinch hitting, I believe, for Johan Rojas. Down 0-2 in the count. Fouls off a pitch. Gets a hanger. Hits a ball into the Mets bullpen. Solo shot, pinch hit, go-ahead home run. Phillies are up 4-3. Then the Mets go to the bullpen. Schwarber strikes out. JT grounds out. Bryce Harper walks. Mets go back to the bullpen. Alec Bohm walks. Then Nick Castellanos strikes out. How many pitches was that on? It was on 5 pitches. Strikes out with a chance to add some insurance. Jeff Hoffman, 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th. Very quick inning there from Jeff Hoffman. Bottom of the 8th for the Phillies. They go down 1-2-3. In comes Jose Alvarado. The at-bat to Tyrone Taylor. It was a 9-pitch at-bat. Very good at-bat by Taylor. Had some pitches. He fouled it off. Walked him. It happens. But then Jeff McNeil singles on a 1-0 count. And then Vientos reaches in on an infield single, which Alec Bohm boots. It was on an 0-2 count, and that scores the run to tie the game. Then he walks Torrens to load the bases. Lindor then strikes out. So you have a chance with a double play situation, 1 out, game tied. Pete Alonso. He was 2-2 in the count. You had a chance to get him out there. You hit him with a pitch. Mets take the lead. And then a wild pitch during the Brandon Nimmo at bat. Scores another run. It becomes 6-4 Mets. Nimmo then strikes out, and then Ruiz comes in and gets Martinez to ground out. Limit the damage from Martinez, but it's 6-4. Then bottom of the 9th. Garrett's still out there for the Mets. They kept him in a little too long. Pache leadoff single, but then Schwarber pops up foul. Out. First out of the inning. Then JT gets hit by a pitch, down 0-2 in the count. So 2 runners on. Bryce Harper comes up. Smith comes out of the bullpen for the Mets. Harper swinging first pitch. It was a hanging cutter. Harper ripped it. It was a single. Sadly, he didn't get the launch angle that he was probably looking for because I'm sure Bryce Harper was probably looking for a home run to walk the game off. Single. He loads the bases up. Alec Bohm walks. After taking a first pitch for a strike, he saw the next 4 pitches for a ball because Smith could not locate his pitches. And then Nick Castellanos in his at-bat, he got 1 pitch to hit. That was the first pitch cutter, and then every other pitch was outside of the zone. He grounded out into a fucking double play to the catcher. Phillies lose the game. So fucking frustrating. It is. It's so fucking frustrating. Looking at the lineup today. Kyle Schwarber, yeah, he went 2 for 4, but once again, 2 singles. 2 singles, an infield single, then a regular single. Where's the home runs at, man? Your slugging is below 400. Below 400. JT Realmuto 0 for 3 with a walk. Bryce Harper 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Alec Bohm 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 walks. Nick Castellanos 1 for 5. Edmundo Sosa 1 for 3 with an RBI. Whit Merrifield 1 for 4 with an RBI. Weston Wilson, he got the nod today. He went 0 for 3. Bryson Stott then goes 0 for 1. Rojas 1 for 2. Dahl 1 for 1 with an RBI and a home run in the pitch hit situation. Then Pache came in, he went 1 for 1. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. Don't know. Why? I want to see if there's an explanation from Rob Thomson on bringing in Gregory Soto. I really want to see if there's an explanation there. I don't think there's going to be. I'm sure someone's going to ask him, but I don't think there's anything right here on on Twitter. If there's going to be any explanation on why he brought in Gregory Soto to get out of that jam, I need to see. I really need to see. It's just infuriating, in my honest opinion, on why he brought in Gregory Soto. It's just very infuriating. I just, it just is. It just is. You should have swept these 2 games. You should have swept these. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, losing 1 game isn't the fucking end of the world. Isn't the fucking end of the world. Just trying to see anything, if there's anything from Rob Thomson. Here's something. The Phillies' last 10 losses, half of their season total, have come from a combined 16 runs. So yeah, when they lose games, it's close games. They're close games. Yes, I will give them props for coming back in the 9th inning. You have to win that game. You have to win that game, man. You have to win that game. And yeah, I find it unacceptable that Alvarado struggles against the bottom of the order for the Mets. He just came in, did not have his command. Did not have his command. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, man. It's fucking infuriating. That loss pissed me the hell off. It just did. Now, like I said, I don't think it's a microorganism, whatever you want to fucking call it, of what's to be. This team is still great. I still think this team is great. They still have one of the best records in baseball, if I'm not mistaken. It's still the best record in baseball. They're 45-20. Because the Yankees, they lost 2 games to the Dodgers. You're still 8.5 up above the Atlanta Braves. They lost yesterday in Washington. Like I said, I don't think it's a omen of bad things to come. You lose, it happens. You have a day off tomorrow, then you bounce back against the Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox, it'll be Zack Wheeler on Tuesday going up against Cutter Crawford. He is 2-5 with a 3.51 ERA. He has been lit up in his last couple of starts for the Red Sox. On Wednesday, it'll be Christopher Sanchez against Nick Pivetta. Then Thursday it'll be Aaron Nola against Tanner Houck, who is 6-5 with a 1.91 ERA. Nick Pivetta is 3-4 with a 3.4 ERA. So it's a series that you should win. It's a series that you should win. Then you go to Baltimore after that. It'll be Ranger Suarez, Taijuan Walker, and Zack Wheeler in that series. It'll be Ranger Suarez against Grayson Rodriguez. He is 6-2 with a 3.28 ERA. And then it'll be Taijuan Walker against Corbin Burns. He is 6-2 with a 2.26 ERA. And then whoever pitches against Zack Wheeler pitches against Zack Wheeler. And then you come back home for 6 games. You'll be playing San Diego and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then going into the rest of the month, you go to 3 games in Detroit. Then you play 4 games at home against Miami, 3 games in Chicago against the Cubs, 3 games in Atlanta, 3 games at home against the Dodgers, and then 3 games against the Athletics to close out the first half of the season before the All-Star break. So yeah, definitely some tough games in here. I expect the Phillies to be perfectly fine. I don't, like I said, it's not an omen of bad things to come. I'm just frustrated for this loss specifically. Frustrated at this loss specifically. That's it. This loss specifically. I want to put that out there again so people understand it. This loss specifically. This team is still great. Their pitching is still fantastic. This is not a sign that the bullpen's bad. The bullpen's been fantastic for a month and a half. The bullpen, this was the first bad game from the bullpen in a while. And it was just 2 guys. That sucked. Your offense did not hit with runners in scoring position again. And I do expect them to eventually go on a hot streak, the offense, that is. Bryce Harper, I believe, had a great series in London. I believe his bat's going to wake up eventually. It really comes down to Kyle Schwarber needs to start hitting home runs. Kyle Schwarber needs to start hitting home runs. If Kyle Schwarber starts hitting home runs, then the offense is going to go off. You'll eventually be getting Trey Turner back soon. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Rob Thomson made a bad decision today with Gregory Soto. Made a bad decision with Gregory Soto. Rob Thomson has been making good decisions basically the entire year. His bullpen's been really good. And yes, if Gregory Soto got out of that inning, we would have been fine with the decision. Probably would have still questioned it, but we wouldn't, we would have been fine if he got out of it. But then, Gregory Soto gets out of it, or he doesn't get out of it, it looks worse, which is rightfully so. But no need to panic here. It's one loss. It's one loss, and that's what it is. Let me see. Just trying to see some shit here. I'm also getting emails back and forth, so I'm also checking something here. So I just got to see. Here. So I'm just trying to see everything, make sure everything's good. Sorry, I'm getting like emails back and forth, so I'm just. Sorry, boys. There's a lot of shit here. I'm just trying to make sure everything's going through. Sorry. Okay. So, let me see here. Nope, I haven't seen anything on Rob Thomson's decision to bring in Gregory Soto. Have not seen anything there. Just trying to see. And then Mets fans are celebrating like it's fucking... They won the World Series, of course. GiraffeNet Mark, he is a fucking clown. What else? What else? No, I'm not seeing anything here on Twitter about anything here. No way. Not seeing anything. So, yeah. I'll get to you guys here in the comment section before I end it off here, because I'm going to have to start doing some editing after this. So, yeah. So let me look at you guys here in the comments before we end it off. So let's see. T-Man, how you doing? I'm so tired of saying this. The bats don't do enough for you, and it was proven tenfold today. Walker pitched his best game of the season. The offense has to produce. I agree, yeah. Offense does have to produce. Offense definitely does have to produce. Losing is one thing. It's how that, yeah. It's concerning because you can't do this in the playoffs. The hitting is what I'm worried about. How many times were the bases loaded? Soto is good when no guys on base. He's not when men on. Swung up. Yep, Castellanos at bat. I don't think Schwarber's lost his power. Every time I see him hit the ball, it's over 100 miles an hour off the bat. He's not getting the ball in the air where he should be driving the ball out of the ballpark. They lose. Yep. Why would Thomson pinch running JT and Stubbs? That's the least of my concerns. What are Dahl's numbers against lefties? That's probably why he brought in Wilson. And also, to be fair, Weston Wilson was just inches away from hitting a home run in this game, too. He just got a nice play out there by, I forget, it was DJ Stewart or something like that. I don't think Weston Wilson was the reason why he lost the game. Or one of the reasons why Alvarado can't struggle against... Yep, I agree. He can't struggle against the bottom of the order. Oh, yeah, the umpire was terrible today. Umpire definitely was terrible. I don't know what they're going to do with the call-ups and send-downs here, because it's definitely a good position to be in because you have a lot of guys here that are coming up and producing from the minors. Well, Weston Wilson obviously will be sent down. He definitely isn't a mainstay. David Dahl definitely should be considered staying. You're good. I think the one that's really going to get screwed over is Cody Clemens because of the injury. I think he's the one that's going to get screwed over, in my honest opinion, because I don't think Pache has any options left, and they want to keep Pache for his defense. Rojas, they're not going to send Rojas down. I do think Cody Clemens is the one that's screwed over with the injury, and plus he has options left I think he has options left. So I think that's where they're gonna go. I don't know. I don't know. It definitely is a good problem to have, but it's like you're gonna have to make a decision out of it. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough decision. Definitely. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it right here. Sorry, boys, I'm a little distracted because I'm just being asked to do certain things right here. So that's probably where I'm going to end it off. Like I said, I'm just mad at this loss specifically. This loss specifically. It's just annoying. It's annoying with the way they lose games sometimes. Now, I do expect them to bounce back against Boston. I fully 100% they do. Every time they got kicked in the fucking nuts in a loss, they always bounce back. So that's what I expect this team to do right here. So, that's basically it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in here. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Frustrating loss today. Day off tomorrow. Regroup traveling to Boston. Hopefully they don't go on a stretch just because of the travel here and the time zones and all that crap. I don't expect them to. I expect them to bounce back in Boston. So we'll see what happens. Thanks, guys.